Before we get into this and I start my little boot wizard boot rant, I want to make one thing really clear. I like Adidas football boots, despite some of the criticism I've leveled at them recently. I think that the Predator is innovative, I think it's pushing the Predator line in the correct direction, and whether you like it or not, it's definitely one of the standout boots of the year. I think that the Nemesis is fantastic, it's my favorite boot to wear, it's my go-to football boot. The Copa, unquestionably one of the best leather boots on the market, and some fantastic tech in the Plus model. And the X has been described by my friends over at Boot Hype as the people's speed boot. It is a speed boot that really will work for almost everybody. But I really think they've dropped the ball on their X Ghosted release. What's up guys, James here from BootWizard Boot Reviews, and today we are going to be talking about the new Adidas X Ghosted Plus and X Ghosted 0.1, which have been announced, they have been launched, and they are available for pre-order. If you want to pre-order a pair, you can do so by clicking the top link down in the comments or in the description. But I want to talk about why that's a problem. Why it's a problem that you can go on there, you can pre-order it, and if you're lucky, receive the boot somewhere between the 4th and 5th of September. I want to talk about why Adidas have done this, and why I think it was really stupid. So let's get into it. Remember to like the video, remember to get subscribed to the channel for all of my boot reviews and content like this. But why have Adidas messed up? Let me tell you what I think. I am very hyped about the launch of the new Adidas X Ghosted Plus and X Ghosted 0.1 lines. This is the new name for what would be an X20. They're not using X20 Plus, X20.1, it's now Ghosted. And I'm imagining a lot of this is down to the two new upper materials they're using, Mirage Skin on the Plus and Fluoro Skin on the 0.1. These look super thin, super fast, super F50. They've definitely got some of those vibes about them. There's carbon fiber inserts in the forefoot. These look like a seriously impressive, seriously fast boot. And yeah, I'm hyped, but I can't get my hands on them for another few weeks. And this is because Adidas announced them the day after the Nike Phantom GT launched. Now, this is not coincidence. Adidas have launched these boots on that day to say, we are better than Nike, to just take some attention away from them, if nothing else. Everybody's talking about the GT, then all of a sudden Adidas are like, boom, check these brand new X out. And you know what? It worked. Everybody started talking about the X. But how long can people continue to talk about the X? They announced a date. It was 2 days ago. I think it was the 11th of this month. They were like, this is when you're going to be able to get them. There's a countdown on the Adidas website saying you can get these boots on this date. The countdown goes to 0. It's 9 AM in the morning. I'm like, cool. Jump on the Adidas website, ready to buy them. Can't buy them. They have announced them for pre-order. So they made a big deal about them being released, a big deal about a date, and that date was for pre-order, which is just disappointing. Like, you're already letting your consumers down. You're promising and then not giving it. And in these days of hype, I said this about Puma and the Ultra, and I still stand by it. The longer you spread out that launch, the less and less hype there will be around the boots dropping. The Puma Ultra dropped 2 days ago, and nobody's talking about it in the same terms as they were 6 weeks ago when we first got that teaser. They took too long. And just for the sake of taking away some of the hype from the Phantom GT, I feel like Adidas have done exactly the same thing. Now we have to talk about the global health crisis and how that is impacting boot releases, boot production. It seems that Adidas are having struggles with manufacturing for this boot, with getting this boot ready to go to market en masse around the world, because the launch dates in various parts of the world are also different. Ultra Football over in Australia are saying that they might not have the boot until November. So we have to accept that this has had an impact. The global health crisis that is still ongoing has had an impact on Adidas' ability to manufacture this boot and get it out to suppliers. But it's very clear that they just dropped this to try and stamp all over the GT release, but in doing so they've shot themselves in the foot, because now I'm annoyed about it, and also you're just removing hype from your own boot, and then you're going to drop it and people aren't going to be able to get hold of it. There's supply issues. Now, Gaijin Boot Blog has an article on this very subject, and he makes an excellent point that behind the scenes, the GT launch got shifted on many occasions. It was this date, then it was this date, then it was this date, but that was behind the scenes. That was something that I knew about, retailers knew about, but the general boot buying public did not know about this. So the launch was all the colors, all the sizes, seamless, ready to go. This X launch, they're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it while still announcing it. You still can't get hold of it, and even when you can, there's a really strong chance that you're not going to be able to get it in your region. Now, this should be the big ticket item from Adidas. This should be the boot that everybody's running out to get, and yes, the football season's been pushed, so that's adjusted their schedule as well. But if they weren't ready to launch, why did they launch? And I've already answered that question about 3 times. It was to stamp all over the GT, which from a marketing standpoint, I cannot disagree with. That's a brilliant tactic. Nike have done it to Adidas before. They released the Mbappe boot just before an Adidas boot, and honestly, I can't remember what that Adidas boot was. That's how effective the Mbappe boot launch was. We knew the Adidas boot was coming, and then Nike went, oh, Mbappe boot, you can now buy it today. Very clever, and they're the two big brands. They're going to do this to each other. I absolutely have no problems with that. But if you're doing it and it's detrimental to your own product launch, what are you thinking? I just don't understand. They've got pros in the boots. They've got everything going forwards, apart from we're not going to be able to buy them. And the whole way that this boot industry and our selling boots works is if we buy their boots. If we don't buy them, then what's the point? And we can't buy them. And that's not our fault, that's their fault. So for me to stop ranting and to summarize, I think that launching to take the hype away from the GT is a very smart maneuver. But when your product is not ready for market, and when people are going to wait in excess of a month after the date that you say you're going to launch, if you provide a tease for a launch date and you push that further back by saying it's a pre-order date, if you then take that date and in various countries, various regions around the world, you can't get the boots, you are 100% handicapping and hamstringing your own product relaunch just for the sake of stamping on the GT. And you know what? If someone needs a pair of boots and they're excited about the X and they can't buy them, they might still go out and buy a GT anyway because your product is not available. I think Adidas have massively dropped the ball on this one, even more so than the Puma launch, which I still think was a bit weird and all over the place. But speaking of the Puma launch, the Ultra video will be on the channel very, very soon, so get subscribed for that. Remember to like this video if you want to see me rant at a camera more, and comment down below. Do you want to see me rant at a camera more, or do you just prefer the boot reviews and boot unboxings instead of my own personal opinions from an egghead? But that's all from me here today. Do let me know what you think, and I will see you soon. I've got friends.